Welcome back, deep thinkers. You know, we spend a lot of time in life trying to figure out what makes people tick. We ask ourselves, why are they acting this way? What's going on in their lives? And sometimes, the answer is a tough one to swallow: addiction. Did you know that over 20 million Americans are battling substance abuse? Today we're diving deep into the 10 signs you're dealing with a drug addict. Stay tuned to uncover the truth. This isn't about someone having a bad day, folks. We're talking about a seismic shift in someone's personality. They were once predictable, even-keeled, and now, it's like a switch flipped. They're angry, lashing out, or maybe they're withdrawn, isolating themselves. Their moods are like a roller coaster and you're just trying not to get thrown off. This kind of dramatic change, especially if it seemingly happens overnight, is a major red flag. Don't ignore it. It's a cry for help hiding behind a mask of anger or despair. Look, we all drop the ball sometimes. We miss a deadline, forget to submit that important report, or let an email slip through the cracks. It's human nature to occasionally falter under the weight of our busy lives. We might forget to pick up the dry cleaning, leaving our favorite clothes hanging in the store for days or even weeks. These small lapses are usually harmless and can be easily corrected, but when someone starts consistently neglecting their responsibilities, something's off. The once tidy home becomes a mess, chores pile up, and the clutter on the desk grows. This isn't just about being busy, it's a sign that something deeper is amiss. They're calling in sick to work constantly, their performance is slipping, and their once stellar work ethic is now a distant memory. The empty office chair becomes a common sight, and colleagues start to notice the frequent absences, or they're just not showing up at all. The unoccupied desk speaks volumes about their disengagement and the growing distance from their professional responsibilities. Maybe they were once a dedicated parent, always there for their children, helping with homework, and playing together. Family time was cherished and prioritized, but now they're constantly late for school pickup, leaving their child waiting alone and anxious. The rush to pick up their child becomes a regular occurrence, and the guilt starts to build. They're forgetting important events in their children's lives like birthday parties and school events. The empty seats and disappointed looks from their children are heartbreaking and hard to ignore. These aren't just character flaws, they're often symptoms of a much deeper problem. The reflection in the mirror shows a person struggling internally, and the stress is evident in their eyes. Concerned family members start to notice the changes and worry about their well-being. They're often symptoms of a much deeper problem. The internal struggle is real, and the shame they feel is overwhelming. The close-up of their worried face tells a story of pain and confusion. Addiction takes hold and twists priorities, making even the most important things in life seem insignificant compared to feeding the addiction. The person who once had everything together is now consumed by the need for their next fix, making even the most important things in life seem insignificant compared to feeding the addiction. The family is neglected, and the person chooses drugs over their loved ones, creating a rift that seems impossible to mend. The journey to recovery is long and arduous, but recognizing the problem is the first step towards healing. Let's be honest, money problems are a common source of stress. Whether it's the anxiety of living paycheck to paycheck, the fear of unexpected expenses, or the burden of mounting debt, financial issues can weigh heavily on anyone's mind. It's a universal struggle that many people face at some point in their lives, but there's a difference between struggling to make ends meet and suddenly having their bank account drained, their rent overdue, and their possessions disappearing. Imagine the shock and despair of waking up one day to find that everything you've worked hard for is slipping through your fingers. The rent is overdue, the bank account is empty, and the room that once felt like a safe haven now feels like a hollow shell. You find out they've been borrowing money from friends and family, promising to pay it back, but never quite getting around to it. The desperation in their voice is palpable as they make yet another plea for help. They avoid social gatherings, not because they want to, but because they can't face the people they owe. The guilt and shame become a constant companion, eroding their self-esteem and straining relationships. They might even start selling off prized possessions, things they swore they'd never part with. The guitar they played in college, the family heirloom passed down through generations, or the cherished mementos of happier times. Each item sold is a painful reminder of the sacrifices they're making and the lengths they're willing to go to in order to keep their heads above water. And why? Because addiction is an expensive habit, and they'll do whatever it takes to fuel it, even if it means financial ruin. The cycle of addiction is relentless, consuming not just their money but their hopes, dreams, and relationships. It's a vicious cycle that leaves them feeling trapped and hopeless, as they struggle to find a way out of the darkness. The financial toll is just one aspect of the devastating impact addiction can have on a person's life. Chapter 4. Physical health issues. The body keeps score, folks. It doesn't lie. When someone's using drugs, it takes a toll. They might start losing weight drastically, their skin becomes sallow, their eyes are bloodshot and lose their sparkle. They're constantly getting sick, catching every cold and flu that goes around. Their hygiene goes downhill. They stop showering regularly, their clothes are dirty, and they just don't seem to care about their appearance. These physical changes are like billboards screaming, "Something is wrong, don't turn a blind eye to these warning signs." Chapter 5. Secretive behavior. Now everyone deserves their privacy, but when someone starts acting like they're living a double life, it's a red flag. They're constantly on their phone, whispering in hushed tones, deleting messages and calls. They become evasive about their whereabouts. Where were they all night? Who were they meeting with? They offer vague explanations or flat-out lie. This secrecy is a way for them to maintain their addiction, to keep their drug use hidden from the people who care about them. Chapter 6. Changes in social circles. Birds of a feather flock together, right? If someone suddenly ditches their old friends, their lifelong buddies, for a new crew, it's worth paying attention to. These new friends might be involved in the drug scene, enabling their addiction and pulling them deeper into that world. They might avoid talking about their new friends or become defensive if you question their choices. This shift in social circles is a sign that they're seeking out an environment where drug use is accepted, even encouraged. Chapter 7. Legal troubles. Look, good people make bad decisions sometimes. It's a part of being human. We all have moments of weakness, moments where our judgment is clouded by emotions, stress, or external pressures. But when someone starts racking up legal troubles, DUIs, possession charges, public intoxication, it's a sign that their judgment is impaired and their addiction is spiraling out of control. These aren't just isolated incidents, they are cries for help, signals that something deeper is wrong. Each court appearance, each run-in with the law, is a stark reminder that their life is veering off course. It's not just about the legal consequences, it's about the personal toll it takes on their mental and emotional well-being. They might feel overwhelmed, trapped in a cycle they can't break free from. The distress is palpable, and it affects not just them but everyone around them, family, friends, colleagues. They might try to downplay their legal problems, blaming it on bad luck or saying it was a one-time thing. It's a defense mechanism, a way to avoid facing the harsh reality of their situation. But deep down, they know they have a problem, and they're scared. The fear of losing control, of not being able to stop, is a constant shadow over their lives. They might reach out, seeking comfort in familiar voices, trying to find solace in the words of those they trust. But the regret lingers, a reminder of the mistakes they've made. In their quiet moments when they're alone with their thoughts, the reality hits hard. They see the toll it's taking on their lives, the opportunities lost, the relationships strained. Don't enable their behavior by making excuses for them. It's important to be supportive, but also firm. Sometimes tough love is the only way to get through to them. They need to understand the gravity of their situation. Have those difficult conversations, offer your support, but also set boundaries. Let them know that while you care deeply for them, you won't stand by and watch them self-destruct. Encourage them to seek professional help, to join support groups, to take the necessary steps towards recovery. It's a long and challenging journey, but with the right support, they can find their way back. Chapter 8. Unusual sleep patterns. Our bodies crave routine, folks. We sleep, we wake, we eat. But when someone's using drugs, that internal clock gets thrown way off. They might be up all night, wired and restless, then crash for days at a time. Their sleep schedule is erratic and unpredictable. They're either sleeping too much, escaping into a drug-induced slumber, or they're not sleeping at all. Their bodies and minds ravaged by the chemicals coursing through their system. These disrupted sleep patterns are a clear indication that their body is out of whack. Chapter 9. Paranoia or anxiety. We all get anxious sometimes, but when someone's constantly on edge, suspicious of everyone and everything, it's a sign that something's not right. They might be paranoid that people are talking about them, plotting against them. They might have panic attacks, their heart racing, their breath coming in short, shallow gasps. This heightened anxiety is often a side effect of drug use, especially stimulants like meth or cocaine. Their brain chemistry is out of balance and it's affecting their perception of reality. Chapter 10. Physical evidence. Sometimes the signs aren't subtle, folks, they're staring you right in the face. You find drug paraphernalia, needles, pipes, rolling papers, little baggies with residue. Maybe you stumble upon hidden stashes of pills or powders. They might have track marks on their arms, evidence of injecting drugs. These aren't just signs, they're proof positive that drug use is happening. Don't ignore the physical evidence, no matter how much you want to believe it's not true. Stay informed, stay safe. Look, this isn't about judging anyone. Addiction is a disease and it affects people from all walks of life, but knowledge is power. By recognizing the signs, we can start to break down the stigma and get people the help they need. Thank you for watching, Deep Thinkers. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay informed and stay safe.